All right, is it working? Can you guys see me? Dude, I'm so stupid because I had scheduled a stream, because I had scheduled it. I had to actually click the go live button in the top corner. I didn't know what was happening. So you guys can see me. This is fucking ridiculous, dude. I show a monk, it's like, "Oh, it's temporarily not going to show." By temporarily, they mean for 10 minutes. By temporarily, I thought I was live for the last 10 minutes. I've been talking to Rose. She just told me we're not live. So okay, mods, you can tweet out that we're live. You can tweet out, or not tweet out, put in the Discord that we're live, put in the Discord that we're back. I mean, this is just over a fucking monkey and a golf cart. I hope you people are satisfied. I really hope you people are satisfied. Um, we've lost all our fucking viewers. I had 150 viewers. I had 150 fucking viewers. Lost it all because everyone's like, "Oh, make the golf cart monkey full screen, make it full screen." Now Discord won't open. I love my life. I really do. I love my life so fucking much. It's so incredible. Put on the Discord, add everyone that we're back. I want all 150 people back. YouTube, you need to compensate. Start view botting me. This is absurd. Actually fucking absurd. Okay. Okay, finally
Hey.
I got it working finally. Okay.
Okay. So the people in the chat, I was crying a bit before, but I feel better. You just take some time, you breathe a little bit. I'm a very impulsive person. I feel a lot of emotions. I'm
Well,
fine.
if you feel like you're not, I said this before, if you feel
No,
like
no,
you're
no. Trust me. I feel fine.
okay,
Like I understand being concerned. I'm just like this. I don't know what to say.
okay. If you're not, like, we can do this another time.
No, I appreciate it. I do want to talk about this though.
Yeah, okay. So what were you saying to me before?
I mean, so much shit happened. I forgot what I was saying, but we were talking. Oh, what was it? Why was I crying? Oh yeah, I was like blaming myself for being like the reason the stream got taken down when it was that monkey clip, and I was like, oh, everything is my fucking fault, and I'm like constantly blaming. It
Yeah,
was something related to, but that wasn't related to like why you brought me on here.
yeah. Yeah, so I got you on here because we were discussing the outsider. I was giving you insight into the outsider perspective and why people are not reacting the way you expect them to react to the whole like lyric shit. Um you kind of expect everybody to be outraged about this clip, and I'm kind of explaining why that's not the case. And why people are sympathetic to lyrics on this front. I even if you with your reasoning for why you said the things you said, you have to understand, like, for a lot of people that's still not gonna like negate it in their mind, and a lot of people are probably not even gonna believe you. um I don't not believe you on why you said those things, because it is very like strange things to say. I don't know why someone would say something like that. So I do believe that this could have been like a result of, your trauma or whatever.
I mean, am I supposed to explain like my whole life story to people? Like people are, I think lyrics that even said to me like, oh, if you stream, people would understand you better. I don't fucking know. Like
Well, for a lot of
I just had a very interesting life experience.
well, okay, it comes off for some people as like post hoc rationalization for something that happened 5 years ago. And I'm not saying I'm just telling you how it comes off. I'm not even saying that I necessarily believe that, right?
And then it's also like the hypocrisy. It's like, oh, well, this person can say like all the crazy shit that they want, and then it's fine. But like when I say stuff, it's like the worst thing ever. And
Yeah, but
I don't know.
his comments were in response to crazy shit being said.
Oh, so it's okay when he says it. Right.
Well,
Okay.
it's a completely different context. If
Right.
I
Something I had said 3 years prior. He went on purely for the intent to make fun of me.
if I have a guy that's like making like pro murder tweets or whatever the fuck, and then I say to him like, okay, I'm gonna kill you or something like that, like people are gonna be
That
way
would be awful. Like you listen, you don't understand. I went on debates. Like my whole thing is pacifism. Like my whole thing is just because somebody does a bad thing, that doesn't justify them responding in a bad way. That is like my whole thing.
yeah, but
So like this is
you're
consistent to everything I've ever said.
yeah, but your level of pacifism like negated self defense.
Like I mean, yeah,
Right?
I'm just very
Do you
against
still?
violence in general,
Okay,
but
okay. So
that's
do you
just who I am as a person and what I
okay?
believe.
So do you still feel this way?
The rape shit, of course not. Like I don't believe in like violence, obviously. Like I didn't suddenly, I'm not pro gun,
Do you
but
believe?
like
Do you
I
believe?
look back at the shit that I said and I cringe.
I get.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay, but you said a few things. Do you believe if like a woman is like being raped in an alleyway and she has a gun in her purse and should she shoot it out and should she pull it out and shoot the rapist?
I'm having this rape debate again. So what
Would you
it
say?
used to be is I used to be outraged by it, and now I just like realize like first of all, it's a scenario that's very unlikely to happen, right? Like most people don't carry guns with them all the time. Most rape is like people that not like in random alleyways. So but if this scenario were to happen, I think the normal reaction is like to just not make a big deal out of it. Like, oh yeah, well he shouldn't have fucking raped her. Like that's what a normal person would say, right? It's like, well, you shouldn't be fucking doing that shit. And so I get that now. I don't know why I didn't fucking get that. But at the time, I was just like, no, murder is always evil. Why are people defending murder? What the fuck? Murder's like the worst thing you could do to a human being. So,
But you
yeah,
think?
like my opinions on this have changed.
But
But I mean,
so presently, as we talk today, you do believe that a woman can defend herself with physical means if she's being raped.
I wouldn't personally do it, but I wouldn't make a big deal out of it like I did before.
A big like, do you think it's wrong?
I mean, I don't think that people should fucking rape people. And I understand like people wanting to defend themselves. Like no one should be forced to go through with that shit. It's kind of like how my opinion on abortion evolved over time because I used to be pro life. It's like, okay, I can understand this perspective now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
like, I mean, I am like growing as a person.
so you wouldn't. I just a bit to take it. You wouldn't personally defend yourself. Why wouldn't? Why are you
No,
against?
I personally would not defend myself because morally I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean,
So wait, so okay, so you do believe that like it's morally wrong. The self defense in these cases is
so
like
I'm
morally.
saying what I personally wouldn't do if it were me. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but you're saying that because you believe it to be morally wrong, right?
I'm saying that I wouldn't do it personally.
Okay. Um.
Just
Well,
like people could be like pro choice, but they wouldn't personally have an abortion.
I mean, I hope that you were never in a situation where you need to do that, but I feel like you would feel a lot differently in the
I would
moment.
just dissociate and not think about it. But I
That's
wouldn't.
like it's really
That's.
hard to not. It's really hard to like not think about like being raped if you're actively, being raped.
I'm just desensitized to a lot of things.
Um. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I like. I feel like this is like one of those situations where like you're kind of like you think like in the moment the way you're gonna react is gonna change from like when you can logically like think it out, right? And in the moment, the fear, etc.,
Well,
etc.
how people have like a freeze, like fight or flight. I would freeze. I know myself what I would do in that situation. I'm not the kind of person who carries a gun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I want people to fucking shoot me. Doesn't mean I support like people murdering me, but I'm never going to carry a gun because I wouldn't like feel comfortable doing that.
Do you believe
You know
that?
what I'm
Do
saying?
you believe that self-defense is like contradictory to pacifism?
I mean, like I said, like I'm at the position where it's like, who the fuck am I to like tell people what they can or can't do? Like
It's just
like
your
that's not right to like because people like if someone's being like rape is like one of the most evil things someone can do. And so like if someone feels if they need to do that to like defend themselves, then yeah, like I was being stupid before,
okay.
but the thing is, I was so focused on like I would personally never do this instead of like, looking at, someone else being in that situation. So like I understand my positions better. And I think had I been like more mature about this, I wouldn't have said the dumb shit that I said. I would have got myself in these situations. But here we are.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't said what you said either. It's kind of always going to be like a defining mark on
Yeah, but now I have to live with it.
that's not even true necessarily. I think with your current explanation, like if you if you like do something that's entertaining enough for people, they'll eventually not care if your content is entertaining enough. I mean,
I
I don't watch
I
you.
hope so. I mean, people just don't understand me. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, even just talking to me now, it's like, holy shit, like Rose is like fucking crying. It's like I cry all the fucking time. But I'm constantly like all day am thinking about the shit that I said. Like it's like I can't escape the shit. It's like my mind is like stuck in a prison, reliving the shit like every day of my life. And it's like my trauma is attached to the thing that people always harass me for every fucking day. So it's just
Well,
it's crazy. Like
I'm
it's
in a
actually insane.
Nike Space Station for the two. Well, Rose, I'm in a different position than you're in, obviously, but
Right. No, I get it.
I've said some crazy shit too. I was very opinionated when I was like 14, 15 online, and I've said some insane shit too that like I regret. But at the end of the day, like yeah, you'll always have like somebody bring it up against you, and for you, that's the thing you're known for. So that's why you have to hear about
I
it so
know.
much. But if you became known for something else or
I want
contributed,
to be known for other stuff, but then I did the samples video and people brought that up, and then my friend was like trying to promote me, and then that became like a thing. And it's like, fuck, I can't do anything. I
well,
can't make like a passionate
well,
video that I enjoy without it being a problem for people.
Well, Rose, that's how it's gonna be at the beginning. But if you are
And then
it,
2 days later, I get on Beast Games, and then that turns into a shit show. And my fucking life, it's crazy.
okay, but despite everything that happened, if you just ignore those comments and keep going, at some point, like I don't know if you know about Tom, Turkey Tom, but he used to get every video shit on by Pyro fans because it was Pyro coverage. He uploaded through that, and it still gets brought up, but for the most part, it went away. So it's like if you upload through that and ignore those comments and like make a conscious effort to like be known for something else, like eventually, yeah, this probably will die down. You're never not gonna hear
That's
about it.
what I do.
You're never not gonna hear
I
about
mean,
it.
I
Someone will bring it up, but like you just have to not. You just have to be. I
I
guess.
just want to be treated like a normal human being, like somebody who isn't just, I don't know. I'm so used to people like seeing one tweet and assuming that they know my life, assuming that I'm just like this. They create this version of me in their head, and like they've never spoken to me. But then it's like right now I sound like a narcissistic piece of shit. It's because like, oh my god, you're like constantly talking about yourself, but like, what the fuck do I do? You
I don't.
know?
I don't think that's how you come off. You come off as sounding, obviously I don't think you would disagree, a bit like emotionally like unstable or whatever. But
Oh,
like
absolutely,
I
yes,
don't.
yes.
Yeah. So I mean this is people don't know you. People don't know what you're thinking. People don't know how you view the world. So they're going to be viewing you based on the version, the output that you've put out through your previous Twitter comments, et cetera, et cetera. So if you keep putting out more output, eventually they're going to know the other side of you that you would like them to see. But until that happens, they're only going to know the part of you that you've like presently output. But you just need to keep going, even if it's not going to be like easy at the start. Um, you know.
Yeah. This is actually I appreciate this convo. I think that this is much better. I'm so used to treating everything as like a personal attack. Like at the beginning, like when you were saying that stuff about that clip, like it's funny because even before uploading the video, I was like really like, oh, maybe I should change that, right? But I don't even know. I would just wanted to like fucking get it out there and over with. And it's like I don't know. Maybe not everything is like a personal, but then it's like
I'd stay out of
everything
drama if
is
I
a
were you.
personal attack.
I'd stay out of drama if I were you as well. I would not.
Drama fucking comes to me because of my
I
presence.
wouldn't cover
Like
it. I
people will
just.
get mad at my friends because I'm friends with them.
Do you know Pie
So
Girl?
at this point, what?
Do you know Pie Girl?
I've heard that name, but I don't know
Pie Girl
who
wanted
that
to
person
make
is.
Pie Girl wanted to make it big on YouTube, but every time a drama came up, Pie Girl would make like a multi-hour long video about it, and it's like you're never gonna grow if all of your videos are you responding to your own drama. So even if drama comes to you, you just need to move on. You like you addressing it every time or whatever isn't really gonna do you any favors. You should probably just keep going. And I don't know if you're unable to do that at the moment, then you're probably going to need to step away, because the reasonable expectation you should have right now is, yes, at the beginning, this is all people are going to be talking about. And I know that probably sucks, right? But that's just how it's going to be for right now. And you need to be able to work through that if you're going to get past that online. But if you can't do that right now, which is a fine thing to admit, then it's probably not for you right now. You should probably take a step back until you can get to a point where you're you have a reasonable expectation of what you're gonna be facing and are ready to like take it and handle it. Um, but that's really all I can say on that one. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Well, I mean, I was kind of done with the conversation anyway. I do want to move on to my next segment. So thanks for the call in, person who's not here. I had wanted to move on anyway. So, anyways, yeah, lol. Yeah, I was gonna go into there to debate her. I'm not laughing, Rose. I'm not laughing. Um, this person is obviously they wouldn't disagree. A lot of fucking problems. And I'm at a point right now where I'm not gonna like sit here and like laugh and try to dunk on somebody who's like fucking who's at that point. Um, so I meant everything I said. That was all genuine advice. I fundamentally nothing's changed. I disagree with Rose on everything I had stated. I still do. That's not a personal attack. I just disagree with you. But everything else I said is true. That's I think the best course of action for you going forward. Yeah, I don't know if you caught the last bit of what I said. I don't have a whole lot more to say, so I was gonna move on to my next
Well, I
portion.
wasn't listening. I mean, I was just charging my phone. I mean, there's more about the video that we have. Like, we only covered like the first like 20, 30 seconds of it. Like, there's so much more about like my video that you could talk
Well,
about.
I only talked about the parts I disagreed with you on.
Oh, well, what else did you think about the rest of the video? Like, what else did you think about his like response? Like, 'cause I'm genuinely curious, like, how people feel.
Um, I mean, it was just bringing up a lot of criticism I've kind of heard about him in the past that I've spoken on briefly in regards to the lolly shit. I mean, even included a clip of me in there because I have spoken on this one before, so it's not really anything new for me. That like ending criticism. So the only thing did really want to talk about was those starting bits because it's the only like new thing
Oh,
for me.
the Brad stuff. What'd you think of the Brad stuff? Like the channel, like the reason it was created, like those clips. Like, I'm gonna invade the space.
That's not. I feel like you're taking that as like a super malicious comment. I've said I think the exact same thing before. It's not like I think he wasn't just purely entering the space out of spite for Brad. I think he entered the space because he is genuinely interested in this stuff. And that was his excuse for telling his chat about it. Like I've spoken. He's
He
obvious.
made that comment like before he made the channel.
I know.
Like, he
This was
didn't
his
have a channel
plan.
before.
This was gonna be his plan. This was like it wasn't like he made the channel the day like he was planning on this. You can even see it wasn't an overnight thing. He started trying to do the music streams on his main channel. And then he would even start cutting down the commentary streams and starting the music portion early, and some people didn't
Yeah,
like that, and then eventually he
and
just moved to a new
this
channel. This is obviously something that he was interested in. A path he was like
but
considering pursuing.
this all started after the Brad stuff. Like, the channel was created like 4 months ago. Hey, you still here?
Yeah, wait, it started before the Brad stuff.
So like the Brad stuff happened, I think it was like a year ago at this point. Because I remember like I uploaded my videos in like July. I don't know exactly when he responded because there was like a lot of stuff that happened after that. But like the
Hmm.
Liam Donovan channel is only like 3, 4 months old.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there were like 2 videos on the channel, but those aren't, I don't really count those.
Do you think this channel only exists out of spite for Brad right now?
I think he made his intentions clear when he said that he was going to like invade the space on the stream after he was
What he
crying.
wants to get that means he wants to get big in this space. I think you're taking that
But I
like
mean, like, I also I said this in the call with him. Like, he is passionate about music. I don't deny that. But like, there's motivations behind like why he's doing this, and he's like taking advantage of like, Brad being at a low point. Like,
but
here's my opportunity.
do you think his
Yeah, because that's the stuff that he said on stream.
so
Like,
you
you can't just say
wait, so you genuinely believe that his primary motivation you genuinely believe his primary motivation is
I don't think he believes that himself. I don't think that if you were to ask him, like, he would even think or even realize that. But like, when you say stuff like that, that doesn't exist in a vacuum. And when you act on those things, like, yeah, it is weird to like make fun of someone crying and then copy their whole shit. You know,
He's not.
I don't think it's
Where
crazy for me.
he's not. This is such a broad genre. Okay, music is just something everybody reacts to. What people like Brad do, what people like Anthony Fantano do, they're doing the shit that everyone
I can
normally
explain the
does when
similarities.
listening, and they've turned it into content. This is not like a thing you can like trademark. This is like such a broad genre of content.
I wouldn't. The thing is, it wouldn't be a big deal if he wasn't like making fun of him crying, and then like you go to his community tab, like the format of the suggestions from viewers, like the way he does that, the way he does like the paid reaction streams, his most popular video, which is like poorly aged songs, and you know the. I mean, there's like there are things you can pinpoint exactly, and the worst samples thing, and
Wait,
I just think
you realize Brad's existence in the space, like, it's not, this isn't like, what would it be? These people have different tastes in music, right? This is such a broad
yeah, no,
genre
I know, I
that
know.
they can coexist in the same space. It's not like he needs Brad gone to get successful doing this.
But it's like he didn't have a music channel. He sees Brad crying, and it's like, oh, there's a gap in the market. I can like invade the space,
Wait,
and then he creates that channel. It's like
why would
that's
he?
it's just fucking crazy that he'd admit that.
Why would he think that because Brad is on a stream crying, he's gonna stop doing what he's doing and nobody's gonna watch his music opinions?
Well, I mean, like, the stream of him crying is when he said those comments about invading the space. I don't think
Yeah,
this is like a crazy take
no,
here.
no, yeah, but if I'm assuming that the thought process you're prescribing to lyrics, it doesn't
No,
make.
but like I think it's insane to see that clip and then immediately say that afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like, how is that even on his mind while he's watching that? Like, oh, I need to invade the space. Like the fuck? Why are you thinking about
that
that?
could have been something he'd already been thinking about. In this moment, he is thinking about it again and brings it up. I do that all the time. I've already formulated a thought in my mind, and then something I'll be talking about or watching will kind of bring me back to that, and then I'll talk about it. That's not like that's not like the thing that planted the thought though.
He did it multiple times. Like I found at least three different streams where he's saying like the exact same thing in regards to Brad.
Yeah, but
And
why?
again, before Brad, he did have a music
I
channel.
don't. What I'm trying to understand is the translation. How does Brad crying motivate him to make a music channel? Like, what is the? Why would that be the motivator?
Well, first of all, because he does a drama channel and doing a drama channel causes you to like cover a bunch of YouTubers, you get to like, I mean, he was watching Brad before. I mean, he mentioned he was like a viewer for like a year. I mean, he had seen like all this stuff and he was like thinking, I think it was like the clip of him talking about like needing 10K or something. And he
Okay,
was like, damn, like he makes bank, like he's doing well.
I don't.
I don't know. Like
I don't understand. I don't.
I think you're being like super charitable, and I think like most people would see a clip like that and think like that's fucking crazy.
No, I think even my chat, like who shits on lyrics all the, you have no idea. These people shit on lyrics all the fucking time. Like, it's nobody's seeing this translation. How looking at Brad crying motivates you to start a music channel.
But the thing is, like I said, after he cried, like one of the first things he said was like, "Oh, I got to do this. Wow, I got to invade the
Yeah,
space."
but why would that be the thing that would implant the thought in his mind? Isn't it more likely that that he'd already had this thought in his mind? Because how would the crying make him think he needs to invade the space?
I mean, I think it's in like I'm kind of repeating myself at this
Okay,
point.
can I tell you what it sounds like? Can I tell you what it sounds like? It's like I don't know. We're walking. I see like a dog in the park. There's like a dog running in front of us, and it's like, dude, I gotta go fucking like open like a cupcake business or some shit. And it's like, I wouldn't assume the dog is why I wanted to open the cupcake business. Why is it that like him seeing Brad crying? Why is that the thing that made him think he needs to invade the space?
Well, I think he was covering Brad a lot on his channel due to like drama and stuff. And he'd probably been watching his content for years. I can't be in the guy's head, but when you say something a number of times and you act upon what you're saying, you know,
No,
like
I agree.
I still think it's absurd to act like this is like a crazy take.
I don't know what your take is because I don't understand how I can't understand the translation. We've reached an
The
impasse.
translation is like there are notable aspects about his channel that are lifted from Brad, and here's clips of him saying like, wow, I need to do what Brad's doing.
Yeah, but why would the crying be the thing that would make him sad? Couldn't it just be watching Brad? Couldn't it just be he saw Brad and took inspiration from Brad? It wasn't the crying specifically that made him think he
Well,
needed to
yeah,
do that?
but the crying is why I take an issue with it. It's
Okay,
like
okay, okay.
if it wasn't him making fun of him crying, I probably wouldn't care that much about
Okay,
it.
I
But it's the
understand.
fact that he would make fun of him crying and then go on to like
I
copy
got you.
his channel. It's like
I
that's
understand.
fucked up.
Okay, okay, okay. I understand. So, okay, this
Got
helps me.
okay, so we're on the same page now.
Yeah, you're just you explained some things a little bit confusing for me, but so essentially, what you're saying is he took inspiration from Brad to make this channel, and that he decides that the time he's gonna think about doing it and announce it is while Brad is actively crying, which is a fucked up time to do or say that, and then actually to go on and do it, right?
Yeah, but I also believe it's like, his crying and his mental health was like preventing him from uploading. He said one of his clips was, I see a gap in the market. Like, what else does that mean? I see a gap in the market. I've got to invade the space. Like, how is that a thing that you're like just saying out loud?
You don't think that could have been like? You don't think that could have been a joke?
I mean, if it was a joke, you wouldn't have actually done it.
No, but it doesn't. Okay, I
He
don't. We're
actually
not.
did it. He acted on it.
Okay,
He invaded the space.
I agree. It's the great replacement.
He took advantage of the gap in the market. Like, it's not a joke when you do the thing.
Yeah, but why? But there's no gap. Why would he need Brad to be gone to go and do this?
I mean, it's not necessarily like quote unquote needing, but it's like, he's like, oh, well,
Didn't Brad come back too?
Yeah, but he isn't.
No, better point was okay. So the time he made these comments was a year before he actually went ahead and did it, right?
I don't remember specifically.
You
I'll have
said
to check the dates of the streams. It was like 3 different streams over the course of.
But roughly a year, right?
It was sometime in 2024.
Okay.
Maybe it was like August, October. I don't know.
So at the time he actually acts on this, and makes the YouTube channel, was Brad uploading?
I think he was, but not as much as he used to.
Okay, so then clearly it's not. He said maybe he talked about a gap in the market at that point in time. But if Brad was back to uploading months later when he actually goes and makes the channel, then it's probably not about a gap being in the market. Because when he actually goes and acts on it, Brad is back and uploading.
But like, what is the appropriate time to like make a comment like that? It's like, oh, if he said this and then he made the channel a week later, like, oh, it was a whole week later. If it was a month later, it was a whole month later.
No, but
I mean, to me, it's more important.
But your argument.
I don't think that's the sole reason he made the channel. But like,
I don't understand.
He's outright saying that it's like a motivating factor.
But I don't.
And then he does it.
But I don't. Okay. If that was a motivating factor, the factors that existed for that motivation to exist weren't there when he actually went ahead and made the channel. So clearly, that motivating factor wasn't present when he actually went ahead and did it. If Brad was back to uploading, so the gap in the market shit.
Well, he was uploading, but it was like to a lesser audience. Like a lot of people had decided to like leave him because of the drama. Like he still has people watching him, but he's not like gaining subs anymore. He's like in that stage where it's like, he'll have like the same viewers, but it's not like the live chats have like less people in them. So, he's still around. He's still doing his thing. But he's not like the presence that he used to be.
Was okay, so wasn't Brad also like covering, correct me if I'm wrong, more like hip hop oriented stuff?
He covers like stuff of like every genre. Like people send him like whatever. I've never like looked at his channel and been like, oh, he does this kind of music. And I think Liam's kind of the same way. But I haven't like watched enough of his content to know.
Okay, I think you took like a joking comment, took it as literally as possible, and have ascribed it as like a primary motivation for why he went.
I wouldn't take it literally if he didn't do the thing that he was quote unquote joking about.
No, but if he's joking about filling in the gap in the market because he thinks Brad is no longer going to be there, If he actually, when he actually goes and does it,
Well,
Brad is
he
there.
wasn't saying that Brad wasn't gonna be there, but like, it's like, why would you say it at
So
this
so
time?
so
Why
where's
would you say this exact comment
wait? But
during
so the
this moment? You know?
but then there's no gap. There's no gap anymore. The gap is gone. So obviously that's not why he went ahead and made it. If by the time he comes back, the supposed
Yeah, I mean, it
gap.
was probably like on the back of his mind. You know, like he didn't do it like right that second.
Yeah, but no, but you're saying your problem
But
is that.
again, I believe like Lyrics probably has like he has a real passion for music outside of all this. I'm not denying that. I never said that that wasn't true.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get anywhere with this. I have something else on to cover. It's like 2 hours long. So
Okay.
thank you for calling in.
Bye.
Bye.
I guess.
Take care. Holy fuck, that was frustrating. Oh my god. Why is this bitch now hitting me up? The fuck? God, what a fucking frustrating conversation. Holy shit. Okay, we actually have a topic I do want to cover. But really quick, I'm gonna go pee. I'll be like 2 minutes. I'm excited to cover this one. Thank you so much, by the way, for the $2 donation from Space Station. I think I said thank you before. And then somebody gave us 99 cents from Buckley. Much appreciated. So we'll be back here in like 2 seconds. One sec. I have a topic I'm actually very excited to cover. All right, I'm back. So let's do a quick intro to this. Let me turn on the heat because now I'm fucking hot or cold. All right. Anyways, I can't believe Lerix ruined Brad Taste's life. So you guys, okay, I'm a little bit too close. So that's far enough. So you guys are familiar with you guys, it's no mistake, okay? I'm a liberal. You know, don't need to tell you that one twice. And I think one of the biggest problems, right, or not one of the biggest problems, a big problem we have is like the purity testing of the Democrat Party, like getting mad at people for not being perfect on certain issues, excommunicating people over mistakes, and one of, I think, the biggest like one of the people on the left that like pisses me off the most is Dean Withers. I don't like Dean because he's like he argues well on certain points, but he is like your definition of like a fucking soy lib. Okay? So like Dean will get mad at people for saying retarded, right? Midstream, he'll be like, can you actually not use that type of language? And then immediately, immediately following that up, Dean will make a comment like everybody in this room has like an 80 IQ or something, which is synonymous with retarded, by the way. So he just like goes with what's socially acceptable and not really much reason behind it, polices people in that kind of language. And Dean's good friend, this guy called Harry Sison, whatever his name is, was being a fuckboy on Snapchat. He was leading multiple women on consensually, of age women, receiving nudes from them, I think, etc., etc. And that was kind of a shitty thing to do, but it's a mistake, and it's one you could totally learn from. Now, Harry, a bunch of bad faith conservatives were trying to paint Harry as a literal predator over this mistake, this guy in his early 20s being a fuckboy. Now, while this is happening, Dean decides, is he going to defend his friend, be like, this is a mistake, but we can move on from this. Hopefully he learns from this. Whatever. No, Dean throws his friend under the bus. He throws his friend under the bus for a simple fucking mistake. For a mistake, right? A pretty common one at that too. Like, right? So that's when I really started to not like Dean, like at all. And now apparently Dean has thrown somebody else under the bus. So we're gonna check that out. He's on a tour right now throughout America called the Unfuck America Tour, debating Trump supporters. Wait. Debating Trump supporters, that kind of stuff. And this tour, there's now an issue in regards to this tour where Dean has kicked off the manager or something, and we're going to see why. Okay? Let's see.
That have already bought their plane tickets to go to Texas, and they're going to be there, and I want to make sure that I'm there for them. And in retrospect, I recognize that I did not handle the situation correctly, and that on its own was not valid. What I should have done in response, everybody's asking what has happened, so we'll go ahead and reiterate what happened, was...
You liked him at some point? Well, he has good talking points against Trump. He's memorized the talking points. They're good, right? He effectively argues against these people, and it's good to have people amongst Gen Z. It's a good, when you have like so many influencers on the right, like Fresh and Fit, Sneeko, etc., etc. It's nice to have people that are also like appealing with like the liberal side to Gen Z. The problem is he's appealing a caricature of a Democrat that is like everything I hate. The fucking stupid purity testing, the inability to acknowledge that people can make and move on from mistakes. And the thing about Dean is, Dean himself has a history of making mistakes, right? And we all do, but he made some pretty big ones that could have totally fucked his career. But he said, I've changed, etc., etc., and he was able to move on from that, which is fine. But then when it occurs with other people, especially at a time where the people you're arguing against are trying to paint your friend as some sort of predator, for you to then go and like throw him under the bus, I think is like super, super like snaky.
That Z, the organizer of the pack, had been microaggressive to black women on a TikTok live, and
racist microaggressions,
yeah, and essentially like I was complacent with it, and insofar as the impact of my actions, because I still went on the trip, right?
Okay, so the organizer of the tour, this person by the name of Z, apparently was on some sort of live stream with some black women and engaged in a racist microaggression. Now, what is I actually am kind of embarrassed to admit I don't know what a microaggression necessarily. I've heard it before. I don't know what it means. A statement, action, or incident regarded as an instance of indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against members of a marginalized group, such as a racial or ethnic minority. Huh? Wait. I had a DMJ stock. I think he has the OG clip. I need to find the original clip. So this Z person engaged in some sort of racist microaggression.
And then once again, I'm just going to pick up where I left off. My justification at the time was, well, a lot of fans have already bought their tickets, so I want to make sure that I could be there for them. And at that time, it was requested that Z doesn't go live or doesn't make posts with her face on any of the accounts, so she's not personally benefiting off of any of the attention that the tour gets. Z is once again the organizer of the pack that went on this live, but I now recognize that I could have leveraged my influence and could have basically said that either she holds herself accountable.
What is her name? Her name is Z? Okay, so apparently the whole tour has been canceled as a result of this. Like, this is the problem. They canceled the whole tour over this. We have a guy in office at the moment that is literally deporting people without due process, ruling essentially by executive order, defying the Supreme Court, dismantling the fucking Department of Education, cutting funds to crucial programs, etc., etc. And you're gonna cancel a tour because you believe that the tour's manager engaged in a racist microaggression. What?
And we see genuine progress, or I'm not going to go. And the likely response would have from the pack would have been, damn, all right, she's either going to hold herself accountable or we're going to kick her off. And we'd still love you to come with. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that, and I apologize.
Does anybody know the comment in question that they think was a microaggression? Because really, my judgment of this is going to depend on if it was important enough to cancel a tour like this. My judgment is going to be determinant on what the nature of the comment she made was.
I think it's really, really important.
This is like not going to appeal though to your average Gen Zer because it comes off as like inauthentic. And also, if you're willing to like alienate your friend for being like a 20-something-year-old fuckboy, how are you expecting to like win over Gen Z, especially like young men in Gen Z? How are you expecting to win them over? You have to like have like a perfect past if you want to come and like be with us, be with our group. They're not going to sign up for that. I couldn't tell you a 20-something-year-old today that is like a squeaky clean past. I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't think they exist.
Important for everybody to hold themselves to a certain degree of accountability when they do something that they shouldn't have, especially people in the public spotlight, like myself. Like Parker, etc. Especially
what was the comment she made though? Are they going to explain
fucking
that?
white men, right? So I seriously I want to apologize for that. Now, since those events have transpired, and now of course I'm back in Colorado, for the last couple days, I've been determining how we want to navigate through this and what the next move is, and here's what we've come to the conclusion of. Today, me, Parker, Santana, and a bunch of other people that are going to be joining the live here shortly, we were able to get 30 creators, every single creator that went on the tour, on a call.
I got to see if J-Stock wants to call in, because I actually got this because he covered it. Hold on. Do you want to call in? I just want to know what her comment was that led to this reaction. But the problem is, like, in theory, what these guys are doing is good. But they're so inauthentic in the way they go about it that you're not really, like, your purpose, your existence is to achieve winning over this younger demographic to our side. But the way you go about it, I feel like, is going to unnecessarily alienate so many people. Do you want to call in?
And we came to the conclusion that we will not be continuing this tour under the organization of Z. So either Z steps down from the position of being the organizer of the pack supporting the tour, or the tour leaves the pack. And this decision has
unironically, it started as a meme. Dark woke, dude. We need dark woke. It's the only way forward. It's the only way forward. We need to stop giving a fuck about people's stupid jokes or stupid mistakes, albeit if it turns out she said something like super unhinged, I understand. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. We're literally dealing with an unprecedented, like, the opposition. We're dealing with an opposition that is willing to engage in like unprecedented like immoral behavior, and it's like, you really want to get caught up over this shit, really? And one of the most like politically divisive times like we live in right now in America, this is like what we want to focus on and cancel your tours over?
been made, yes, because she was microaggressive against black women on that TikTok live, but also because she's just simply not an effective leader. And I believe what perpetuates.
Okay, if she wasn't an effective leader, then why did it take this like microaggression to fire her? Wouldn't her not being an effective leader like be enough cause to get rid of her? Why is like this just feels like I've used this term a lot throughout the stream. This just feels like post-hoc cope. Like, why? If she was not effectively organizing for you and that's her job, why was that not enough to get rid of her?
Perpetuated the microaggressions on that TikTok live was just a lack of ability.
We got it. We got the comment. Okay, so it's supposedly around this timestamp. Let's check it out. Let's see what this comment was.
Was watching the live and they informed me of that occurrence around.
Yeah. Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Can I just respond to what she said?
Okay. I just find
think this is a very serious thing. I think this is a very serious thing. Hannah, you tried it. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is why people like you I absolutely despise. But I'm going to talk about this in a very serious manner, okay? What happened to me was incredibly violent. The way people reacted to me being abused was incredibly violent. I had to go to the hospital. I had self-unaliving scares, okay? When Dean and Parker accused me of violence.
What is going on here? I don't know who's like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know if this person's reacting or if this person's actually a part of it. I don't know which one Z is. This is like the most like confusing format I've ever fucking seen.
Sexual crimes. Falsely. Yes, I am going to have a visceral reaction to that. When they pose me as even someone who doesn't care about certain movements because I, as a black woman, have nuanced opinions on Palestine, I am going to have visceral reactions to this. When they galvanize their white viewers to come on my lives and harass me, harass my friend.
So I think right now the woman that's speaking is talking about Dean and Parker, some sort of grievance that she has with them.
Call me a rapist. When Dean compares me to a rapist, knowing that I myself have been assaulted. Sorry.
Grapist, self-unalive, a grapist and self. Dude, what is? Can we just end this? Like, everybody knows like what people mean. Everybody knows what they're talking about. Like this whole like self-unaliving or unaliving or like graping or whatever. I can't take it anymore. I genuinely can't. Like at some point, like they're gonna be teaching history in schools. It's gonna be like, yes, during the Holocaust, Hitler unalived 6 million Jews. Okay, if anybody during the course of this segment, because I said it before, ideally I want to turn this into a VOD. If like people are gonna be like stupid, just like time them out for like 30 minutes. By the way, mods, because this is like, hold on. Just behave yourself, please. Just fucking behave yourself.
Censor. Knowing that I myself have been assaulted, that makes me have a visceral reaction. When their viewers come on my lives and send me death threats, laugh at the fact that I was raped, laugh at the fact that I was abused, when they call me crazy for reacting carcerally to the fact that I was abused by one of their friends, when Kamala Harris loses the election and my queer friends are unaliving themselves in mass, and you are on a live giggling because a bunch of conservatives are going to make fun of you now, I'm going to have a carceral reaction.
Is that in mass? In mass? I didn't hear about this. Was there like a mass suicide when Kamala lost? I'm sorry, what?
Now, with a white woman like you, you're probably not gonna care about these things because you don't.
Okay, so I think they're talking to Z right now. The Z person got it.
You don't see violence as anything but someone touching another person. So what I said is probably not going to sit right with you, but it's because people like you are very complicit in white violence. You are extremely complicit in white violence.
I think they're talking to
So
Z.
because he never said that he was going to touch me, it does not mean that the things that they have both done have not caused me significant harm. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I responded to violence with violence. I'm so sorry.
Wait, how was she violent? Wait, what did she do? Okay, so my understanding, I was warned this clip was going to be confusing as shit. My understanding is that this woman who's speaking has some sort of grievance with Dean and Parker, and this Z person is the one that's taking issue with this woman's claims.
So sorry that a black woman being hounded by death threats by his audience, being called crazy and being akin to a sexual deviant, had a visceral and violent reaction to violence. I'm so sorry.
How did she react? What was the what did she do? I'm curious.
I'm so sorry that I'm so sorry that you brought that up as a way to completely disvalue the genuine and valid critiques that I have made here. And I really hope you are so proud of yourself. I really do.
We're gonna take a step back because I don't want you yelling at
bye guys. I'm gonna go cry now. I'm gonna go cry now.
Oh my God! Please don't.
Bye, Julianne. Thank you for coming back up here.
Do
not your 2 cents.
Yeah,
Wait,
I will say.
Okay, so I think she's responding. She's responding to a statement that was made. Mods, can you step in here for a minute? Thanks. I can't, like, just... Why am I mad? Or... Fuck. Just please, I want to turn this into a VOD. I really do. I can't if I'm gonna have to interrupt to go do the moderating. Sorry, I don't even know where the fuck I was. It's so annoying. Anyways, I think we missed the part that she's responding to. So if we go back
on the tour.
Okay, yeah, go. Okay, this was the thing she was responding to, the microaggression.
Y'all not part of like the group chat? Are we not reading? That was my question originally. That I was gonna ask. Like, is there like a group chat that y'all are in? Are you reading the text messages or Discord or wherever?
Nope.
Before we continue, Z, if you'd like to request, please do.
AIDS gang represent. Okay.
Yo, thank you so much for the dono. Something Aiden with the $25. Insanely generous. Liam owns you. Biggest donation of the night. Thank you so much.
Friends that has nothing to do with the tour, who is not on the tour, was watching the live, and they informed me of that occurrence around.
Yeah. Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
That occurrence. Okay, this is Z talking, I think. Okay.
I don't know Julie from A Can of Pain and Eve from Adam. I don't know what they did. All I know is that fuck all about this tour that y'all are going on that you clearly know nothing about. I clearly know more than you know. So the issue that I have is so y'all not part of like the group chat? Are we not reading? That was my question originally that I was gonna ask you though. Like, is there like a group chat that y'all are in? Are you reading the text messages or Discord or wherever?
Nope.
Before we continue, Z, if you'd like to request, please do.
Okay, so this is where Z comes in and talks.
Nope. One of my friends that has nothing to do with the tour, who is not on the tour, was watching the live, and they informed me of that occurrence around.
Yeah.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
Can I
We're
just
talking
respond?
about
Of that occurrence. What is the occurrence? But I guess this is the moment the microaggression happened. I guess this is the moment that the microaggression happened. Yo, Scoobs with the $10, just trying to help the goal move. Thank you so much, buddy. Much appreciated. Very fucking generous. Insanely generous. Hold on. I'm gonna see if J-Stock wants to call in real quick. He's in a VC, so I don't understand.
On to what she
that's
said.
okay. I just find that
Feels like we're missing a crucial clip. Yeah, if you people think she was incredibly racist, your movement will never achieve anything. Z joins. Z talks about the tour. Okay, 431.
Anyway, so I'm just going to talk about why we're doing the tour, since none of y'all know how to have a proper conversation. So the reason for this spot.
Is that it?
What happened?
The guys, don't skip her. I actually want to have a
Wait, no, who dropped them? I listen,
Guys.
I don't like that. Who dropped them?
Who did that?
It was literally her turn to go. Who dropped them?
Okay, so that was the microaggression, I think.
Guys, I
can't ask. It was not me. You can't ask everyone a question, Allie, while it's on Showtime because no one can answer you.
That is true.
That was torture. What the hell?
That's true. Who dropped them?
Guys,
Can y'all be honest with me?
It wasn't me.
Can I have a quick one-on-one with her without anybody
wants to get to the talk. We got come on.
Dang it, Riot, why did you drop them?
I didn't drop. What? I didn't do it.
Oh, I thought you said it.
Okay, so I can understand actually why that comment could be negatively interpreted by them. But at the same time, that doesn't seem like she did it on purpose. And I'm pretty sure by definition, microaggressions can be unintentional or whatever. But that's like one of those things where it's like, if it bothers you, you say something about it. And then you say, okay, noted. And then people move on. It's like I think the criticism would be there is like a common racist stereotype that black women or black people don't speak properly, et cetera, like AV. That is commonly like a racist stereotype. So when she says, none of you know how to have a conversation, that could be interpreted that way. But I think what she's talking about is that this is like a space of like a bunch of like bickering and like people are talking over each other and stuff. So obviously, I don't think her intention was to play on that stereotype, especially knowing who she is. So it's one of those things where like, yeah, if you want to talk to her about it and criticize it, go ahead. And then she acknowledges it, and then everybody moves on. To get someone off the tour over a comment like that is an absurd overreaction.
It was you.
Was what she said?
I said that. It
racism?
wasn't me.
Wait, was what she said not face off racism? That
Yeah, it was. She's racist. For sure.
Oh my god!
Why did I just get blamed for this?
I'm sorry. Somebody said it was me. Was it you, Meadow?
No, I said that.
Can I just wanna say something. Please. Go ahead, Tabby.
Wait, actually, wait, hold on.
No,
this is what we're going to do.
I kind of want to.
I understand what is happening. Dean Withers and Parker had a tour going around America called the Unfuck America Tour to talk about liberalism to college students, I think. Their tour manager, Z, is in this Twitter space, and she makes a comment that is interpreted as a racist microaggression against black women. I can see vaguely how you could interpret it as potentially a racist comment. If like someone could say the same thing she said and it could be racist, like you can't have a conversation properly. But in the context of this like space where everyone's talking over each other, when she says you can't have a conversation properly, I think that's obviously in regards to the fact that people are talking over each other and it's like a very like disorganized kind of space. Because even I'm watching secondhand and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So that's like a thing where it's like, hey, maybe people could have interpreted that way. Maybe I'd use different language next time or something, if that bothers you. But like to then kick her off the tour and then cancel the tour as a result of this comment is an absurd overreaction.
I kind of really want to gain control of my own panel and y'all please let me speak. I want to hear from Z, right? We said a lot towards Z. I want to hear from Tabby. Tabby hasn't been able to speak for 10 minutes. We have to have some type of order, and that's the reason why I had the show thingy on. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and let Tabby speak, and then as soon as Tabby's done, Z, I'm gonna put you on the top and give you 2 minutes to explain everything. Are you cool?
I mean, that's not fair. Z was in the middle of speaking when she was dropped.
Okay, so y'all want Z to go first, and then Tabby?
Criticism
I'm
for
going
Z.
to now exit. I appreciate the feedback. If you guys want to give us more feedback, please do. As I said, we will be going to other communities.
Do you actually appreciate that feedback?
I just want to say something, and she did. She said,
"Talk for the longest." I really have.
Can I please just say this?
Tabby has been as well. To be fair, Tabby's been like super quiet during this entire thing.
Because I literally was waiting to have because I was going to ask you a few things because I thought, I'll be honest. No, wait, because like I feel like a lot of everything else that she said got taken away from the main thing that honestly irritated me, that I feel like she had to have defended. Because how are you going to sit here and say a room full of people of color talking about something being disorganized when you've only been here for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Is somehow causing racism towards unknown BIPOC people that you claim are working on the back end of this.
Doing all the grunt work.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so I guess at some point Z also claimed that their space was causing racism against people working on the tour. If you disagree, that's fine, but the whole racist microaggression to black people, I think, is like unfounded, based on what we've just listened to. And I think that like this is like a huge overreaction, and it's the overcompensation, I feel like, as well, that makes people like Dean and Parker so inauthentic. Like, on one hand, okay, why is this? It's not great. This is in my recommended. On one hand, you have people. On one hand, you have people that just like refuse to acknowledge that racism like is a real thing or whatever, and be like, "Wow, you're actually talking about racism? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Which obviously I'm opposed to. But on the other hand, you have these like soy libs trying to fucking like overcompensate, and like it just comes off as wildly inauthentic and a caricature of like liberalism, and we have much bigger issues to be focusing on. Or microaggressions. You kind of have to be black to have this conversation, because now she's talking about BIPOC people, and that's a whole different convo. I don't think you need to. I think to understand why it might be a microaggression, black people would probably have an easier time understanding that because they experience it, right? But from like an outsider perspective, when I heard what she said, I could understand why that would be interpreted the way it would. Okay, I understand how that could be considered as like an unintentional microaggression. So glad I'm not a progressive anymore. This was painful. You all make me want to go Republican. Congrats. It's like when you play into these caricatures, you're not winning over the everyday person, and that's who we want to win over. At the end of the day, I hate to say it, like, your average American is probably not voting like based on policy. They're voting based on surface level appearance, and our surface level appearance is fucking like atrocious. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, we care about racism. Call it out. That's fine. But when you're getting down to like, oh, this could be interpreted as like a microaggression, let's kick you off the fucking tour. Like, it's insane. What does bi POC mean? It means black, indigenous, people of color. Right? It's not the Z woman's fault. Why is this in my recommended too? Dude, I gotta stop watching World War II documentaries. This is not looking great for me, man. Okay, at least I have a World War II rationing video. It's a little more innocent, right? It's not getting a lot better, is it? It's not the Z woman's fault if they're living up to a stereotype. How are they? That's like such a stupid perspective. Oh, they can't make like the same. People have disorganized live streams. These people are clearly like not professionals when it comes to like hosting live spaces, right? The host is letting people talk over each other. So that's a mistake that a lot of people make, regardless of race. It's not a racial like issue. The way everyone is focusing on how overstimulating the conversation is, and not the clearly racially charged things that came out of Z's own mouth, is the entire issue at hand. Thank you. Can you explain the racially charged things to me, because I'm truly not seeing it? Okay, there's something I'm missing here. All right, well, let's listen to their response.
To hold herself accountable when she fucks up. And we've now seen this lack of an ability to hold herself accountable when she fucks up, not just projected on the black women on that live, but also onto many creators involved with the pack. And we will no longer be working with her, essentially. I'd also like to point out there's another creator live on TikTok right now that is talking about all of this and holding a panel for criticism. First and foremost, all constructive criticism is always invited. Constructive criticism is what got me from being the boy I was 5 years ago to the man I am today.
He's referring to his like past N-word incident.
And it's really important. But this live is not a reaction or reactionary to this other creator's live. And I, as well as Parker, as well as all of the creators that we will have in this space, can attest to the fact that we have been figuring out how we want to move forward and what this live is going to look like since before this other creator went live. It just so happened that they aligned simultaneously. So anyways, Parker, if there's anything that you want to add on at this point, feel free, and I'll probably have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, something I definitely wanted to add on top is that like I'm happy that people can call me out, and I really want people to call me out.
Like they even come off. They just sound so fucking soy. And this is, you're gonna hate that I have to say this. You're really gonna hate that I have to say this, but I'm gonna say it, right? I agree with everyone about the criticisms here of Destiny, right? But the reason I think Destiny was a bit more appealing for like younger like liberals or whatever is because when he talked, for the most part, like he sounded like a person. He was willing to like make like certain jokes, etc., etc. And like the way these people come off, it's just very fucking inauthentic. It's very, yeah, it feels like actors. Yeah.
And I want people in my community and in Dean's community to feel more comfortable with calling us out when we do things that are wrong, because what we did definitely was wrong. We definitely should have addressed it earlier. That is something that needs to be taken accountability from. And I don't want our communities, right, to like just defend us in any circumstance, right, even when it's obvious that we did something wrong. So I want to make it clear that like it's important to take accountability. It's important to address things.
What are you taking accountability? We're missing so much fucking context. What are they even taking accountability for?
That's a really important thing to do. And I definitely think it's something that we could have leveraged to get.
Like, Dean knows this is going to get uploaded as a video because he's acknowledged before. This live, like all my lives, is probably going to get uploaded as a video. Give us the fucking context, man. What is the context?
Like addressed earlier. And I think that's what we should have done.
Yeah, and I guess like being willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and make a sacrifice to hold red lines against things such as racism is incredibly important because what it demonstrates is a want to consciously deconstruct, like systems of oppression in America today.
I agree we should deconstruct systems of oppression, but it's like so soy to bring that into the context of like people having like a fucking petty beef over like an Instagram fucking live stream. What does that have to do with systems of oppression? Nobody is being, based on what I just watched, nobody's being oppressed in that live stream.
And I didn't do that. And that was wrong. And I should have, and I apologize.
I apologize as well. And I definitely think that, like, again, everyone, we genuinely invite the criticism. We invite people critiquing us, and it's really important. We just want to say that we appreciate people calling us out and holding us accountable, because I think it's really important. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off, Dean.
And then just to kind of reiterate for everybody new that's coming in, asking what had happened.
Thank you.
I'm going to go and kind of reiterate like a couple of like the main key points. So, and then we're going to have a couple other people up on the panel, and then we're going to kind of shift the conversation of what's to come, right? So basically what happened, the organizer of the pack, their name is Z. 2 or 3 days before we went boots on the ground in Texas, had gone on to a TikTok live and been microaggressive against black women in that space. and I learned about.
It would be really helpful if you're a guy that's like coming across as trying to like educate his audience on like deconstructing systems of oppression. If you're gonna call something a microaggression, explain it. Explain it. Explain why it's a microaggression. Explain why it's bad. Okay? Like, talk about it. Right? Because that's a term where, like, if people hear it, they're going to be like, what? Like, people have heard that term before, and you have a liberal audience, so they've used it probably, but it's like, explain what she said and why it was wrong. Don't just, like, label it. And he did this with the whole, like, retard discourse. Somebody said retard on a stream with him, and he said, that's a slur, right? Meanwhile, in other contexts, he's calling people stupid, or idiots, calling them low ADI or ADIQ. And just so you know, the term retard was invented to describe people who fell into a certain IQ range, right? So explain why it's wrong to say retard, but not those other things. Like, he has the talking points, but he doesn't know why he's saying it. Like, he's saying it, but he doesn't know why. He doesn't understand the reasoning. He's saying all the right things, but he's not giving an explanation.
This the day after it occurred. Of course, when she was on the live, I knew she was on a live, and I knew that it was bad. I didn't know exactly what had been said because I was at dinner with my grandparents. But when I did learn about this, I then didn't take further movement before I went boots on the ground to basically leverage my position as a larger influence on this platform to either say, you know, I'm not going to go unless we see a genuine sense of accountability, or
what probably happened here is this, what he's taking accountability for is that she was hosting the tour. She made this comment. He probably didn't think much of it or didn't hear about it, got some sort of backlash from his audience over it, and now is like overcompensating by saying this was a microaggression, repeating the talking points, but I don't even think he knows why it's wrong. Because surely he could give us an explanation for a guy trying to educate his fucking audience.
She steps down because I rather thought to myself, I rather thought to myself that individuals have already bought their plane tickets to show up. And yeah, anyways, that was something wrong that I did. And now, to kind of reiterate
he's also taking accountability probably for not canceling the tour sooner, I'd imagine. That's what he's talking about.
To come, me, Parker, as well as every other creator that have went on the trip have now met. This was earlier today, and we've come to the unanimous decision that we will no longer be working with Z.
Unanimous.
The first order of business is
it's like he goes with what's popular for his fan base. This is the most audience captured person of all time. It's okay to say ADIQ because that's more acceptable amongst my audience, but if I say retard, I know that's not acceptable, so let me call it out. Let me call it out. I don't know why it's bad, or let me throw Harry under the bus for being a fuckboy because it's controversial in my audience, even though he probably knows that it was a mistake, one somebody could grow from. So he's like mimicking, but he doesn't. It's like a parrot. Like parrots can like speak and produce language, but I'm pretty sure parrots for the most part don't fully understand. Like they understand the sound, they make sounds and associate it with certain things, but they don't actually understand the content of like what they're saying.
Requesting Z to step down as the organizer of the pack.
You and Dean are pretty oh, that's from fucking quick. Go fuck off.
And invite a new organizer.
Queeman, do you know about this situation, by the way? Because I've been trying to figure this out at the moment. I have a general broad understanding of what's happened here, but
further the Unfuck America tour, or we just completely leave the pack behind. To reiterate, that it is a fact that she was microaggressive against black women in that space.
How?
That has led to this decision as well. It's a fact that we just simply do.
We've now repeated that term 5 times. We have not explained how. We've not explained how or how the microaggressions manifested. You're just expecting, like, surely, if you're making an announcement about this, you would specify what happened.
Not think she's an effective leader. And
why
once
it
again,
was
just
wrong.
to reiterate, what I think led her to being microaggressive against those black women is an absolute lack of an ability to hold herself accountable, and then she projects that on the people around her. And this was present. This was present in that live as well as interpersonally with the creators. And essentially, on top of being microaggressive to those black women, she's simply bad at her job. But
this is a cope, because like if she was bad at her job, like why wasn't that like this is the whole reason she's hired, is to be an effective manager, right? So if she was bad at her job, why wasn't she just fired over that? Why was this like, we're now saying in hindsight she was bad at her job, but that feels like, once again, you're just saying it in hindsight. It's like to provide additional justification. It's like if she was bad, surely that would have been enough cause for you to get rid of her.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about what's to come, what the next steps are, and the overall goal of the tour.
So true.
And for that, I think it's important that we kind of bring up a handful of people that were on the tour onto this live. So at this point,
by the way, chill real quick. We have super chats now. If you want to support the channel, you could donate with the button below. If you can't, make sure to like, make sure to sub, make sure to join the Reddit, make sure to join the Discord. Z had a little argument with a black person, nothing serious. Black girl got her feelings hurt when crying to the community, screaming microaggression.
in time, we're going to go ahead and get a handful of people up.
You know, we can make it comparable to the prison system. If they don't believe their friend can grow from that, can criminals be... That's exactly what I've said. That's like a contradiction I've often seen in leftist discourses, right? There was a big debate on Twitter a while ago, like, hot take, I don't think people should be able to cover up their Nazi tattoos, right? Because a lot of people will join neo-Nazi movements, especially in prison, and then, for whatever reason, come to regret. Some are probably just trying to hide and get a job, but some genuinely do regret the ideology that they perpetuated. They'll go and attempt to move on and grow as people. And the whole discourse around that was, oh, well, they shouldn't be able to take it off, as if they're like forever tainted because they had bad views at one point, or really bad views, genocidal views at one point. And it's like, we should be encouraging that. We should be welcoming growth. You know, it's a whole lot easier to grow up being taught the right things than it is to grow up or be in a community where you're taught the wrong things and then disassociate from the common belief of the majority of that community. That should be encouraged and welcomed. And if people can't be rehabilitated from views or past mistakes, how in God's name are you going to advocate for like things that I believe in, that all leftists should believe in, like prison rehabilitation or whatever? How are you going to advocate for those things?
Here.
Are you gonna do the grid?
Yeah. So
I think you can do the thing where you can do like, I think it's 4, and then you are kind of like halfway big. So it still keeps you like relatively big. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if we fill the boxes up with like the people that we spoke to that said they'd like to come up. It's just glitching out for me, and I'm having a hard time actually clicking on individuals. Welcome in, Santana.
Hello.
And then I'd also just like to reiterate one more time for everybody new coming in here that this live is not reactionary to the other creator who's hosting a live about this right now. In fact, oh, Erica,
you have echo.
Back on the mic. And that this live is not reactionary to another creator who's on here.
Aiden, if they're formally running whatever operation and she was in a career position, firing someone for performance reasons can be litigated without proper evidence. Sure, but there's a different... Of course. Are you saying... Wait, you think I'm saying they're not allowed to fire her? What? That's not my position. My position is if you're going and publicly making a claim now that she was bad at her job, but you've only fired her after she's gotten into a controversy unrelated to her management abilities, right? Or it kind of seems like that's trying to add on some sort of post hoc, justification. That's not me saying that they're not allowed to do that.
Talking about this all. In fact, we've been kind of planning this out, and we've been meeting about this space since before.
No, he thinks reactionary is when you react.
Where they started their live. Give us one moment, everybody.
So true.
Welcome in, Pickles. And Mermaid.
Pickles and Mermaid, dude.
All right, welcome in, everybody.
The true voices of change.
All right, phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I feel like we have kind of gone over, you know, where we are going to be going from here, insofar as
aren't microaggressions meant to be unintentional anyway? I'm pretty sure that's one of the ways they can manifest, and in her case, that is seemingly how it manifested, right? But if that's the case and it's unintentional, like that is something where you could kind of like call it out and move on. Like explain why it's wrong, get some acknowledgement, and then like move on, right? Like this seems like it's a lot of inauthentic overcompensation that people like Dean do, and it feels like very fucking inauthentic.
departing from Z, the main organizer of the tour, which either means she steps down as the organizer of the pack backing the tour, and we find a new, better organizer, or we just simply digress from you know, that specific pack. And yeah, we plan to hopefully be able to get other individuals up here from the.
Chris Crotch and Coco texted you? Thanks for leaving that in there.
Tour as well, but we're just kind of starting off with a conversation with Parker, Santana, Erica, Pickles, and Mermaid. So I mean, if you guys want to hop in here and kind of lead the conversation, I did see a text from you, Santana. Feel free to take it away.
All right, so I want to start. Right, I know that we have people on the panel that will speak to multiple things, and I have something specific that I want to speak to. But I want to clarify something that Dean said. Dean mentioned that all of the creators that went on the tour was involved with the conversation. That's not accurate. There are specific people.
The conversation to get rid of her, I think, right? That's what he's referring to. So not everybody was informed, but the conversation to get rid of her.
That were not included, but the actual people that were included in this helped come to the conclusion. And I'm not going to say why specific people were not added, but I just want to leave it at that. It was not every single creator that went on the tour. With that being said, I specifically want to speak to something. The thing that I want to speak to is two quick things. There's a lot of people who are asking the question, why haven't we addressed this before then? And so Dean specifically has spoken to his reasons why he didn't actually come out and say anything, or, you know, what the actual delay was. I want to take a moment to just say that we were lied to.
About what?
Period. We were lied to. We were specifically told by someone that we trusted to actually be truthful. And someone told us that the way to go about this was to hold comments because things were being worked on the back end.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? What are you talking about?
And that's not true. Someone specifically was manipulating the situation and actually trying to control the flow of information that was coming out, whether it be us speaking out individually or collectively, or any other messages being shared.
So there's some mastermind that was trying to sabotage this like tour behind the scenes. Surely name them. Who are they? This fucking evil genius. I want to know who they are.
As a collective unit, we were going through conversations. We were going through back and forth as far as what do we want to say? How do we want to do? What do we want to address? And let me be very clear and very strong in what I say at this very moment.
Oh, the little heart sign?
It's all good.
Loud. I appreciate that.
I want to be very clear and very straightforward at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this to Z herself. What she said on that panel was racist.
What did she say?
It was racist. It was racist microaggressions. She was racist.
You keep saying that. I just want, like, I heard a call, and I'm assuming that's what they're referring to, because it's the only thing I can think of. But I just want, what was the thing she, like, I've yet to hear somebody reference the specific statement she gave.
She should not have said those things.
Just say the things. It's like they're avoiding like actually saying what she said.
To anyone, but specifically those Black women on the panel.
But what did she say?
Now, with that being said, I want to speak on the point of like racism, right? And even more so, people who call themselves advocates.
Did anybody in the comments say what she said? Did we see the same video? Z was professional despite being screamed at. The only accountability she might need to take is weakness in organization. There's just so much going on here. Okay, I think I need to like figure out what happened here before I give a proper analysis of this. Like this is just gonna be so boring if they're not gonna say what she said. I don't know, dude. I'm like totally fucking bored of this, to be honest. Forget the comments, most of those right-wingers. Yeah, that's what it seems like. This is what people voted against. I understand why this turns people away and why we should change to win people over in like the regard of like not doing this like purity testing shit. But if your vote is actually like influenced by if your vote is influenced by this, you should not be allowed to vote. It's like that simple. If anybody figures out what happened and wants to tell me what they're referring to, that'd be great. But until then, I don't really know. I might have to do this segment over when I figured out what the fuck they're saying. I don't care about this either until I know what happened. Alright, yeah. Well, that was going to be my last segment, but I should have done my research before going into it, to be honest, because it made for a boring segment. But even then, we still had a good stream. We got to cover the Lerix Rose stuff. We got Rose to call in, which made for a great stream. That's how most people vote, though, like you said, surface level. Yeah, and I think that's why we shouldn't be getting rid of the Department of Education. 4.99 from Sardino. Why stream so late, J-boy? To be honest, I don't know. I woke up really late and then I procrastinated, like always. And I need to get my shit together, man. I need to actually, I have things I want to turn into VODs. I don't organize it properly. It never ends up becoming one. And yeah, I just need to get everything together, man. I'm like, I'm totally fucked. Dean later went on to say that it was not that bad and they overreacted a bit in the heat of the moment. Because I'm assuming he got criticism from his community that he overreacted, right? When are your finals? I'm not going to give specific dates, because OPSEC, but soon. Don't you have summer break soon? Yes, soon. Soon. Department of Education isn't doing a good job. That's why you have so many retards. No, despite the job the Department of Education is doing, we're better than we were, but we're still not where we need to be, right? But the solution to that isn't to get rid of the Department of Education. Yeah, alright, well, think Ferran goes to the movies to eat the popcorn off the floor? Yes. So true. I'll try to go live during the day tomorrow if I can get to bed. What time is it? It's 1:32. I should not have just taken a sip from my coffee. How long do I have now? 6 hours before it wears off? Um All right. Well, good stream, everybody. Take care. Peace, peace, and until next time. Adios.